Hello everybody. So today we are going to start with the day 3 demo session. So this will be the last demo session that you are going to have, and from Monday onwards all of you are requested to enroll to the course. Okay? So as part of the day 1 we have seen differences between decisioning versus marketing. Okay? So we have seen the different portals that are available for Pega decisioning, and we have seen the what to say, yeah. So this is what we have seen, and the marketing types. Inbound marketing means customer contacting the business. Outbound marketing means business contacting the customers. In inbound marketing, we have website, call center, retail. In outbound marketing, we have email, SMS, push notification, etc. In day 2, we have seen setting up the environment, okay, for decisioning, and so we have seen the Cassandra database, context dictionary, okay, and yeah, so that's what we have seen in the day 2 session. And in the day 3, let us get started with creating our first decisioning application. Okay, so once you are done with the setup, the database configuration, and here you will be doing the customer tables, then you will be creating the context dictionary. Okay, all right, so now let's start with that. So as part of this course we will be creating a banking application, or we will be working on banking application related features. So we will be seeing certain banking related aspects like credit cards, personal loans, this kind of things, where you will be able to work on those areas. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us create the application now. So I have already started the Pega cloud, and now I'm going to log into the application using the credentials that I have shared you. So now we are going to the CDH portal. So now what you do, go to the intelligence prediction studio. So creating a decisioning application is same as how you create a Pega PRPC application. So like I told you, before you create the application, make sure the decisioning services are enabled. Okay, so decisioning services like ADM, RTDG, DDS, real time, all these are enabled, and you have to validate whether the status is normal or not. You have to make sure that the customer data is available with you. You have to make sure how many contexts are there, primary context, secondary context, and all that. So just make sure that this data, environment, everything is ready with you. So then let us go ahead and click on application and click on new application. Okay, so click on application and click on new application. So now what we have to do is we have to select the option Pega CDH, Pega Customer Decision Hub. So then here you select build with Customer Decision Hub. Okay, so the advantage for you is from 8.8, Pega has given a very extensive CDH setup wizard that will take care of so many things as part of your Pega application readiness. Okay, so what I mean by that, so if you are working before 8.7, you have to create customer tables, the data model, the columns, all these things, which is called as CAR. That's called as CAR. Okay, what does CAR stands for? Customer Analytics Record. Okay, so the Customer Analytics Record is the very beginning thing that every business has to implement. Okay, that's called as CAR, Customer Analytics Record, which is nothing but the customer data model. So when I say the customer data model, what is the customer table? Where is the customer data present? What are the columns that are there in the customer table? What are the properties that are available for the customer table? What all customers are present? How many customers are present? All these are considered as CAR. Okay, all these are considered as CAR, Customer Analytics Record. That is the very beginning step that you need to have, because like I told you, without customer data you cannot interact with them. So you need to know where is the table, what is the email address column, what is the phone number column. All these things will comprise into customer analytics record. Next, you have to you have to you have to create the you have to configure the NBAD template. Again, NBA means next best action. NBAD means next best action designer template. So what does this template do is this template will install skeleton structure in your application. A skeleton structure means it will install some sample offers, sample configuration, and some sample what you say the email accounts and all these things it will install in your application, so that you don't need to create anything from the scratch. You can simply save as these rules and you can use them. So how to know how to create, how to do that? If you don't know, this NBAD template will create some sample rules and some sample configuration in your application. Okay, so along with this you should also be you have to spend days together for configuring context dictionary without any errors. Okay, so once you have the customer context, let us say you have some other context like leads, the secondary context. Based on this context data you have to configure them in the context dictionary. So what did I tell you yesterday? Context dictionary contains all the context information, like okay, like who is primary audience, what is email id property, mobile property. Okay, then secondary audience, who are the secondary audience. So like this, all this data about your primary context, secondary context, associated context. That means this customer, what they are having as associated context. Something, for example, the customer's existing personal loans, the customer's existing home loans. These are the associated context. This information will be stored in the context dictionary, so that Pega marketing will always refer to this. You don't need to always mention to whom you need to send and all that. Just to configure it here, every time it will take from here. Now the advantage that you have in Pega decisioning is, let's say from after 8.7, the application wizard will install the tables. So like a sample customer table will be there and it will be installing the columns and sample records, NBAD template, and also context dictionary. All these things will be installed automatically by the application wizard. The CDH application wizard will install everything automatically in some time, maybe in 5 to 10 minutes it will do that, and it will create everything for you without you being working on that. So let me show you, I mean, before, if you are working with 8.7 before, how do you generally install the CDH? How do you generally do that? So first thing, like I told you, there is something called CAR. Okay, so I'll just show you first that one, then we'll go with the application wizard as well.
I
Yeah.
have a doubt. It is from 8.7 or after 8.7? Because I'm having 8.7. I think it is 8.7 onwards, right? CDH.
Yeah, do you see the application wizard on that? I believe it is from 8.7,
Okay.
but just cross verify. I'm just confused, 8.7 or 8.8, because in 8.7 also I remember this wizard was there, but if not 8.8, so just you can confirm that once. Anyone can check it and confirm on that. Okay, but not more than this or not below this. In 8.6, definitely this wizard is not there. Okay, in 8.6 you should be doing all this procedure, and even below 8.6 like 8.4, 7 point version also, all that. So as part of this configuration, what you have to do is you have to download the car data model. So there is a car model for all the domains that are there in the application, in the company. So what all are there, all the things, the car model is there. That means, for example, if you have a telecom domain, there is a car model for that. If you have a banking domain, there is a car model for that. So there is a car model for all the domains. So let us say you are working for some, for example, some Verizon or something, which is a telecom. So you have to say like for car model for telecom. So then if you search like this, you will be getting this car model. The advantage of this car model is, see, for example, if you are taking a telecom car model, it will create some properties which are related to telecom. There is a communications, something like, for example, mobile download speed or internet upload speed, internet download speed. What is the internet plan used by the customer? Okay, and like internet plan usage, monthly usage, yearly usage. So like this, all the attributes related to the telecom domain, it will automatically create those, and it will automatically create the columns and the tables using this car model. Okay, using this car model. So simply you just have to search for the car model that is specific to your domain. If you are working for a banking, just search for car model for a bank, you will be getting that. So then you have to download this. Okay, so you can see like what it will do.
But Ravi, just one
Business
thing.
friendly properties, ready to use for next best action designer. It will define the classes associations that is quickly ready for context dictionary definition. So the thing is, for example, if you are configuring a context dictionary like a primary context and associated context, you have to create an association rule between the customer table and the customer products table. You have to create the associations, and you have to create the primary key and the foreign key. All these things you have to do manually. But this car model will automatically define the classes, associations, properties, everything. It will be ready for you. So I have downloaded this. Now what you have to do is just come back to the Pega,
Ravi, hello, hello,
configure,
hello.
application. Yes.
Ravi, one thing just wanted to ask. I mean, because where we are specifying this domain during the application creation.
Domain will be your business domain. So you will know what is your client,
Uh,
right?
yeah,
So they
we
will
know,
say
but when we are creating the application, nowhere we are
that
specifying
that we
the
don't do
domain,
it
right?
here. That we don't do in the previous version.
Then what is the default is, I mean, when it is creating the application, it is adding the core model, right? So which
Hmm.
model it is going to add?
That's what, right? That's what we are searching. We are searching for telecom core model. So it is adding that only. So I'm telling the same thing, right? So if your
System is
company is a
adding, right?
telecom
This one.
company, hmm?
No, Pega is adding that core model to our application, right?
Yeah, Pega is adding the car model to our application, which is of communications car model.
But where we are
Communications means telecom.
specifying that communication, because how
I have
Pega
searched for
knows.
it, right? Here I have searched for the telecom car model specifically. We will not specify internally. This car model will have the rules specific to that communications only.
So
So
meaning
that
when Pega is creating the application, it is adding a default core model. It's not specific to any domain, correct?
no, no, not default car model. So
Hmm.
the properties and the classes will be specific to the telecom. Okay. So properties and the classes will be specific to the telecom. See,
Is
when you are
Pega?
creating PRPC, when you are creating PRPC application,
Hmm.
do you specify any domain? No, right?
No,
What
we
you
will
will
not.
specify?
We will not.
Same way here also. What is the confusion? Same way here also,
Hmm.
you will not specify any domain. You will simply create the data model specific to that and the class name specific to that. That's it. So what
No,
is the
we will
confusion here?
create. What about the Pega one, which Pega is adding by default, right? So is it adding the default core model of communications, or is it adding the global default model?
See, by default, if you don't do anything, default model. I mean, nothing will be there. First of all, customer table will not be there in a default application. Customer table, customer properties, nothing will be there by default. In CDH, you are seeing it because this is sample application. In real-time project, nothing will be there. Okay, so this customer table or customer properties that you are asking in this one, this is a challenge. There they have installed some banking related, I think. But in real time, this all will not be there. Nothing will be there until you create with application wizard or until you upload the car model, nothing will be there.
Then what are the default one which Pega is adding when we're creating the application? No
Where
default.
you are telling default one means where you are
No,
seeing the
you
default.
mentioned when we are creating the application, Pega is adding the core models and context and all everything by default it is adding, right?
No, no, I did not say by default. You
No,
have to
no,
select
no,
there.
Ravi. No, Ravi. Actually, before 8.7, you said that everything we need to create, and after 8.7, Pega is going to create, right? You have
Yes,
mentioned
yes.
in the
Pega is
setup.
going to create means when you are creating the wizard, it will ask you the domain.
That's what I'm
So
asking.
Yeah,
Where we are
that's what
that
Ramesh
specifying
is
that.
wizard will
asking.
have that. Hmm.
Acha, okay, okay.
Pega is going to
Okay.
create means while creating it will ask that wizard domains, which industry you are creating. In the wizard, it
Yeah,
will be there.
yeah, that's
Okay.
what Ramesh is asking.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Thank you, thank you.
So I'm selecting this communications here, and
Can
I'm
one
clicking
Pega
on the.
instance have multiple domains?
Um, yeah, you cannot have for one application. You have to create separate application again.
Yeah, but in that one instance, I can upload multiple car models, right?
Yeah, you can upload. Uploading
Yeah,
is
that's
fine.
what. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because what happens, and I'll tell you the use case. As a consultant, I'm working for different industries. One is banking, one is telecom, one is, just an online application. So I can have three different car models for that, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now we have uploaded this model and we have uploaded the instance count. You can see the instance count is there. And simply you have to click on the next button. So then
No,
the
click
database
on the
will be there. That
formatting
is
details. What will come, Ravi?
which one?
The required fields which are about to create it. Yeah, the show content details we have right here. And
It will show you the class name that will be created, rules and versions. In the rules and version, what properties, association rules, all those things it will be showing. So the database connection will be created, database will be imported. That is called external MKT data. So external MKT data is a database, separate database for Pega marketing related rules. Okay. So when we learn about Pega marketing, we will store all the rules into external MKT data database. That is actually internal database of Pega. So then it will show you what all DB changes are there, how many tables are coming, and what all classes that it is creating. Okay, the SQL queries that it's going to execute. So basically it is creating these all classes and all these things. Okay, and now you can see that the database is imported, and next you can import the properties and everything. Okay, so first it will create the tables, then it will create the properties and the columns associated with that, as well as the associations with the classes, primary key, foreign key relationships. All these things will be done in this. So that's how you do the car model here. So let's wait.
Ravi, one more thing.
Hmm.
By default, it will be using the it's a
What is
default
that?
database using, right?
Hmm.
What is that? Uh,
So by default it will import to external MQT data database.
can we have our own database, or we have to go with the Pega default database?
We have to go with Pega default only. Later you can modify by doing save as and all that. But this
No,
car model
in
will
real time
import there.
applications. In real time applications.
Yeah, real time also same thing. It will create an external MQT data. So now we have to go to the application distribution. Sorry, not here, and go to this application definition. So now that we have imported this car model, we have to now you see by default this financials is there. So financial car model is what your banking related thing, because the CDH sample application is using the banking car model. So if you want to use multiple data models, you can use it, or you can just I don't think you can generally use two different things in same application. You have to create a separate application for the separate domain. Okay, so but now you can remove that and you can add that car model that we have imported, select the version and save it. That's it. That's what you have to do as part of the model configuration. Now the context dictionary and everything will be coming from the NBAD template. So the first thing that you do is downloading the car model for a specific domain of your application. If you are having multiple applications of different domains, you have to again go to the switch to the next application and import the new car model there. But in one application you cannot use multiple because it will create conflicts. Then after you install the car model, add the car model component to the application. Next you have to download the NBAD template. So since we are doing communication, I will do the same thing, communication spec. Okay, so this is the one. I think this is the one. Yeah. So same way you can search for bank, insurance. You have for whatever other domains like e-commerce. So like that, all the NBAD templates are there. So what does this NBAD template will do is this NBAD template provides a framework to implement next best action advisor. So what is next best action advisor? If you remember, I told you in the first session. Next best action advisor is the integration wizard or the integration system for CDH and customer service. And again, this is a separate feature or separate tool that you have to download and install it. So this will only provide some framework for the implementing this one, and it will also provide some sample engagement policies. It will create some sample multi-level decisioning to your account, integration points, all these things. And this is what you will be getting, some sample data. Okay, so you can see some sample offers, sample real-time containers, all these things. Channels will be created. So all these things will be available for you with the NBAD template. So this one, how do you need to create is, you need to go to the, so once you have done with the car model, that is the first step, you have to go to the CDH, and here you have to go to the next best action designer. By default, you will not see anything here. It will ask you for setting up the wizard here. That's what it will ask you. So if you create a new application, right, then you will be able to see mostly, and I'll show you anyways. So I'll tell you what you need to do. So right now this application has financials NBAD template already installed. But for a new application that is not using CDH NBAD template, when you come to this next best action designer, it will ask you to upload a template in this section. Okay, it will give you a drop down option and it will ask you to upload that. Simply you have to upload that template that you have downloaded. That's it. So when you keep clicking on next button, then it will start keeping creating that. That's it. So that's what you have to do. So these are the two things that you have to configure in the new application before 8.7 versions. So once you do that,
But for
your,
this, actually, by default, Pega has provided that is the reason it's not showing, or else you have.
yeah, because Pega has provided already. Pega has already installed the financial services NBAD template. It has already installed in the sample application.
By default, is it providing the
Yeah, by
same?
default it is provided for this cloud application, cloud version, not for
Okay.
your real-time environment. Yeah, like if you want to practice and if you want to really see how it looks like, you can just try to create a new application and you do the same procedure. So which I told you, just create a new application, and but you have to do that creating application in the older version, not in the 8.8. So again, remember that you just switch here, you just come here and scroll up and switch to the 8.6, like that. You switch to 8.6 version, start that cloud, then you create a new application, then you can try it. So don't create in the latest 8.8, because in 8.8 it is replaced. So NBAD template, cloud, car model, nothing, you don't need to do install all these things. So here we don't call this as a car model, instead you call it as a XCAR. So why it is called XCAR? See, XCAR, so car means, first of all, it is specific to your business, right? Specific to your business. Okay, for example, let us say your business is some HDFC bank or some bank, okay, some ABC bank. Okay, so your ABC bank has some customer table like ABC dash data dash customer. That is your customer table. In that customer table, you have something like customer ID, uh, bank ID, something like that. Okay, or account number. So something like this, all this data model that is there. So this you call it as a car model, that is specific to your business, specific to your project. So on top of this, you don't know like which columns and which properties generally we need for Pega decisioning. For example, something like credit card monthly EMI, Okay, so like that, so many things will be there, right? Like what is the credit score, is loan rejected before, so like this, some properties will be there for your decisioning implementation. So up to some extent you can get the data from the business, but even the business also don't know for Pega decisioning implementation all the list of properties what do we need, right? They don't know. So for that we need to download this XCAR data model. XCAR means extended, okay, that is extended customer analytics record. So whatever you have within your project, within your application, that is the CAR, customer analytics record. Whatever on top of this you are adding the extended properties, extended classes, that is the XCAR which your Pega will provide you. Okay, so just remember the difference between CAR and the XCAR. So whatever we are downloading from Pega, that is the XCAR. That's the reason you see here also, right? It is mentioning XCAR. Whatever you already have, that is a CAR. Okay, so now coming to this, what we are saying, yeah, to the wizard. So here I was telling you that first you download the XCAR model, then download the NBAD template, switch to the CDH portal. On the left side navigation you have next best action, designer. Okay, then in the new application it will ask you to upload the, it will ask you to upload the template. That's what you have. Then it is self-explanatory. Just you have to click next and it will be created. Okay, just you have to click next, it will be created. So once you do all these things, you have to go to the App Studio and then just wait for the context dictionary. That just you have to configure the context dictionary after you do that. So by the time you are going to the context dictionary, your car model is installed. The XCAR model, the XCAR data model is installed. The template is installed. So the template is installed, everything is installed. So simply what you have to do is, you see what class is created from the template. It will show you in the review screen what is created, and you have to map that class name here. So for example, here I have something like subscription. I believe subscription is part of car model. Yeah. So you see this class name is installed by the car model, XCAR model, Pega CDH dash data dash comps dash subscription, like this. So this class is installed, and you will also have the property as well. Okay, you see all these properties are created by the car model only. You see the class name is Pega class, Pega OOTB class, and the properties: download 6 months average, download last month bill, contract start date, contract end date, is active subscriber. Okay, mobile data, because all these are related to telecom. Since we have added the telecom car model to our application, all these properties will be visible to you. If you remove that car model component from the application, then this will not be visible to you. Okay, so all these properties are now available for you for Pega decisioning purpose.
And
So
additionally,
like
if
this
you
you have
want
to,
to add if you
hmm?
want to add in properties, we have to add in the same class, right?
Yes,
This
yes,
in
you
the
can
same
add in the
component.
same class. You can add your customers also to the same class, or you can just simply inherit from this class, because something will be specific to your application, right? So you will simply create one new class like your application ID ABC dash data dash subscribers, something like that. That will be
Okay.
inheriting from this class, so that you can use these properties, and you can also have your own columns and everything. So like that you will be doing it, and you will click on the save button and your context dictionary will be saved.
But can
So
we
this is the,
modify the properties? Sorry to interrupt you again and again. Like
yeah, you
the
can
Pega
modify the
CDS data and
properties.
comms item subscription, this class, whatever the properties are all there, right? So can we
Hmm.
add those any additional properties in this class particularly, or else can we
You can
delete
add, you
or do
can
it?
add. This is for a customization only. You can add it here. You can create a top class on top of this.
Oh,
This as the
yeah,
parent
got
and
it.
that as a child. There also you can add. Here also you can
Yeah,
add. The
yeah,
columns
okay,
that are created here all exposed
okay.
columns. So everything is ready for you. So just simply you have to select the appropriate properties and you have to map it here.
And any
Yes.
additional properties created here in the backend table also, it will create the columns and it
Yes.
will add it into the same thing.
Yes. Backend table, it will create the columns. And if you have any association, by default, some association will also be there. By default, some associated context will also be created. All these things will be automatically done with that car model. So here you have your email address, you can select that. Yeah, select all the properties and you have to proceed here. Then just click
Ravi,
on the save and yeah.
if we are required to create our own properties, means as per the business use case, then is it we were allowed to create inside that OOTB classes,
No,
or
generally,
will
yeah,
be
generally
inherit?
you don't do that. See, generally you don't do that because Pega class, right? So generally we don't modify this existing class. Most of the time, every time you have to follow to create a separate class at your implementation layer with your application ID. Like ABC is your organization application name, ABC dash data dash subscribers or subscription like that, which will be the child class or inheriting from this class. So that way you will be doing, not the Pega class. Generally, you will not be giving the Pega class. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
that is
we
how
will
we will.
be inheriting the OOTB classes,
Mm,
and we will be creating
yes,
our own classes, and we will be creating the properties in that level.
yes, yes. So whatever existing table, existing classes that you have, you will be changing the parent to this class, and all the properties that are there, you will be now that will be now available for you for your decisioning purpose. So you have to simply keep whatever the property specific to your business, specific to your project in your class. So that is how you do, and that is how you map it here. Then you just save it. Okay.
Okay.
So then you just save it, and that's how your context dictionary will save. So you can see any errors while creating the context dictionary. So many data flows, OOTB strategies, adaptive models, all these will be created. Some sample data will be created for you when you save the context dictionary. All those things you can see it here. If at all there is any error, it will show you the status as error, and if you click on that error, it will show you the complete description, why it is failed and all that. But most of the time, if you have installed model template properly, then the error will not come. But if you have missed something, or if you have deleted something, then you might get error, but otherwise it will be proper only. So all these things you have to do it in your application before 8.7. But after 8.7, probably from 8.7 and 8.8, you have this wizard that will take care of all these things. Because I'm just telling you immediately, but creating the tables, columns, data model, context dictionary, NBAD template, the associations, all this will take some time. Even if you do some part with the model and the template also, you should have your own class specific customer classes, class specific properties and all that, right? So that will take some time. So to avoid all these things, then the business has provided you this wizard which will automate all the things. So just come here, click on Pega CDH, build with Pega CDH, then launch setup wizard. So then it will ask you for certain industry names and everything. So you see, this is the existing application which is already there. That is what it is saying. Now I am going to create a new application. So while creating this new application, it will ask you to select the industry, for which industry you want to create. So then based on your selection, it will automatically download the car model from the marketplace, install that, all these things it will do. So let's wait for that. So generally this wizard will take some time, but definitely it will not give all you the stress of creating all these things, associations, whether you have associated context, primary context, secondary context, and the properties, all these things it will take care. But it is somewhat time taking. Okay, somewhat, like maybe maximum like 15-20 minutes, or just near to that it will take. So here you have to supply your organization name. Let us say I'll give organization as XYZ, application name as ABC, or let us say something like we are giving like ABC Bank. That's what I'm keeping. Now just wait for the next button.
For one industry specific, there will be only one car model and one template, right? It will be auto picking.
For one application, yes. For one application, you will have only one. You can add multiple, but it's not suggested. It will create conflicts for you. Yeah, even in your real time, I don't think it will load this much time because it all depends on the server as well. So if your server is fast and smooth, not much data already, then that should also be fast. That should be fast.
And
But
the instance will be active for 30 days or else like-
yeah, this the backup you are telling.
no, no, I'm so for practicing, right? It will be there
No,
only
no,
for
it will.
one.
No, it will not be there for 30 days. It will only be available till your session is closed. So every time, whatever the things that you are doing, you have to take the backup. So I'll show you how to take the backup also.
You mean to say like day by day we have to take the backup and again we have
Day
to
by day,
import
you
it.
have to take. Yes, day by day, you have to take the backup. So that is the reason. Except this CDH wizard, the remaining topics that we have in decisioning are there in personal edition. Just for understanding the CDH wizard, application wizard, you can use this, but remaining things you can do it in your personal edition. The models, adaptive model, predictive model, strategies, okay, data sets, all these things you can do in your personal edition. But this wizard will not be there. Okay, I don't know why it is taking much time. I'll just wait for 1 minute. Let us refresh. Okay, so I'll just try to run it again. Yeah, I just click on next. So let's give that again.
Yeah, your screen is not visible. Same previous one. Ah, now.
Okay, so I just give ABC Bank. Now click on next. So here you will be able to select the domain. So whatever the car model is there for Pega, it will show you that because it has only 4 car models. For communications, there is a telecom, health industry, insurance industry, and retail banking. Okay. For remaining, it will download some generic car model, or you have to create on your own. Right now, the Pega has car models only for these 4 domains. So as part of our course, we are going to see the banking project. So I'm selecting retail banking. Then just wait for this next button. What is the issue here? Some,
You uploaded a core model as for communications, right?
yeah, we uploaded the car model for communications. Ideally, I'm just waiting for this next button to highlight.
Can you select communication zones?
Nothing like that. It will work for anything. Communications I said. The some issue is there with this wizard. This will run outside of your application context. So just yeah, some issue is there with this wizard. We'll just have to try once again. So ideally when we ran last time, this issue does not happen. Okay. So now it is now we are selecting here retail. You will be getting this retail related what all things will be installed. The preview will be there. So it will install the next best action designer for retail. It will install the data model using this retail banking template. Change management, that is operations manager. So operations manager is used to basically provide some changes by the business. For example, the business will request a particular offer, like for example there is something like credit card price, something like that. So previously the credit card price is $10. Business has requested the credit card price to be $20. So simply they will log into this operations manager. They will create a change request. That change request will come to you in the CDH portal as a work list item. You will work on that and you will complete that change and notify the business. Business will be able to see whether the change is completed, then they will close the task. So that is the operations manager. That's what it will do. Operations manager is where which will be generally used by the business to request for some changes, create some new offers. All these things they can do from that operations manager.
So here
Okay.
in this case, we will not having any delegations, right? So it is a reverse way of.
No delegation. No delegation here in Pega decisioning. Nothing is there like delegation. Whatever
They
they
will.
need, they will
Yeah.
request it. We have to do
Okay.
and we have to notify them. That's it. Yeah. So this portal is also somewhat new. I think it is started from 8.6 onwards, I believe. Okay. If you are using like 7 point version or 8.1 or 8.2, I don't think you will see this manager there. Yeah, again, somewhat slow. Let's wait. Okay, so now it is storing the decisions to some repository. So it is showing you the repository name. So we have the interaction history and the decision history. So interaction history I told you, right? That means, for example, you sent an iPhone and Samsung phone to the customer. Customer accepted iPhone. Customer did not accept Samsung phone. So that is nothing but the interaction. Okay. So for outcome for iPhone will be accepted, outcome for Samsung phone will be rejected. That is the interaction history. Now same way there is some other new thing that is added, that is the decision history. Decision history means for a given customer, what all offers did Pega suggest? That is the decision history. So if you go before 8.7, like in 8.6, you will not see this. Okay. In 8.6, this decision history concept is not there. So decision history means from Pega side, what all we have offered for the customer A. So in the decision history, you will see for customer A, iPhone and Samsung phone. Interaction history is, so in this iPhone and Samsung phone, customer accepted iPhone, customer rejected Samsung phone. That is what you see in the interaction history. Okay, so two things are there, decision history and the interaction history. So that information will be automatically stored to this repository. Previously we used to store to the tables. Now along with the tables it will store into the repository also as a file. Because those tables will have millions of records and it will impact the performance of the application. That is the reason they will remove that table. I think the table is not there now, and they will store the data directly into the repository now, so that it is outside of Pega and it will not impact your application performance. Yeah, so the review screen where you can see what all things are going to be installed here. So the repository will be created, data model will be created, and the next best action designer template will be installed.
One more question here, Ravi. So can we import the any like history existing already? If we have, right?
Yeah,
So in the file
we
format.
can do that. You can create and you can keep in this repository. It will automatically import. Okay, so by default, if new interaction will come, it will store there. If you want to import, and then create the interaction data in that same format and import into that repository. That is fine. Okay, yeah, so I thought it is 15 minutes. It will take up to 30 minutes. So I'll show you how to start, and you can just practice it during your free time. So when we configure this context dictionary, so there are so many OOTB strategies, models, properties, data flows, all these things will be created, which can be used for your customization. So Pega does not recommend creating new rules until necessary, right? So until necessary, you don't need to create it. Whatever OOTB strategies are there, those you can customize it. In that also there are some conditions are there which we will see, but those are created for your customization purpose only. Okay, so now it is ready. Yeah, expect up to 30 minutes of time, but we will see up to 5-10 minutes and we will close it. By the time Monday I will keep the application ready and we can see how the new application looks like on the Monday session. Okay, but this is the step. You are done with the last step. Nothing you have to do. You just need to wait, or you can do your work and you can come back.
Data flows, data sets, all these concepts will be explained, right? We don't have any knowledge on those.
What is it?
Data flows, data sets.
Yeah, they will also be created by this wizard.
Ravi, can you meanwhile tell us the course content, like what are the things we are covering?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Uh, so let me download that. Okay, meanwhile let it go. So just a minute. So I will be sharing this course content to you to your email ID. You can go through that, or I'll post it in the WhatsApp group. So this is the course curriculum here that we have. So approximately 40 hours, not 45. Just so first we will be going through the mm, next best action advisor. So then we will be going through the different frameworks, preparing the environment, application creation, context dictionary creation. So then the taxonomy, decision data, strategy. First we'll be learning about strategy components. So then we'll be seeing the adaptive models, predictive models, scorecard models, data sets. After the data sets, we'll be going with the Pega marketing. So in Pega marketing, we are going to see segments first. After segments, we'll be creating control groups. Basically, segments are where you will be sending the offers to the customer. Treatments are nothing but the content of the offers that you will be creating, and the campaigns, engagement policy, all these things. So later, after 35 sessions are completed, we will have the last 5 sessions, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. They will be dedicated for POC scenarios. Okay, they will be dedicated for the POC scenarios. As part of POC scenarios, I will take some real-time examples, real-time scenario walkthrough, and that scenario we will be implementing it in the application. Okay, so those will be like 5 sessions will be there on that. So this is the overall structure, that is a 40 hours of sessions, and 35 will be the technical topic wise sessions, and last 5 sessions will be regarding the application POC related scenarios. So that's what we are going to cover in this particular course. It will be from Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 8:30 daily. So around 2 months this will course will be taking time. Okay, so I'll share this curriculum to your WhatsApp. You can go through. If you have anything specific that you want to learn, either I can try to explain that in a new session, or I can share you the document with some screenshots and everything, so that you can go through the document. Okay, so it depends on the topic. So that's what you can try to do. So if you have anything in particular, just let me know. We can try to sort that out. But this is the curriculum that I'm going to share it. You can go through and let me know if you have any suggestions or something. Okay,
Since
so
we don't know
anyways,
anything about the
yeah.
topics, what we have to go through, right? So this will be enough for 3 years experience if you go with a
No, this is
Pega.
enough for 3 years. Yes, this is enough for 3 years experience. Make sure that every single topic that we are learning, you practice that, you understand that, you remember that. So like we have seen context dictionary. What does it contain? Where it is present in the navigation? So what is a primary context? What is a secondary context? What is associated context? What is this car model? Okay, what is the difference between car model and XCAR model? Okay, car model is what your application data model. XCAR is what the Pega is providing on top of that. So like this, all these things you have to go through the PPT. I will share this notes also. You have to go through the notes. Everything you have to remember, and everything you have to practice. Every single topic. So if you practice the topics that we are discussing in these 35 sessions, that will be enough for your 3 years experience or your interview also. Okay, even it will be helpful for your real-time project also. But I also recommend you to practice the challenges that are there in the Pega PDN website. Okay, in the Pega website you have some challenges for CDH. Those also, if you get time, you can practice. That will also be additional benefit for you and more confidence boosting for you. Okay, But first thing, you practice whatever we discussed in the class, then you can go for those if you have time and if you are confident in whatever we have already discussed in the class. Okay, so that
And
is how you need to approach this sessions here.
are you providing the material like screenshots of what the
Yeah,
exercise
so
will
we'll
be?
provide the ppts and we'll provide the recordings and the
Okay.
notes, everyday notes, whatever I am discussing here, right? All this
Yeah.
will also be shared to you.
And
Okay,
interview
so
questions
quickly you
also
can,
like
yeah, you will also get the assignment every Friday. So
okay.
from next week onwards, we will upload all these things into Google Classroom. In the Google Classroom, the ppts, recordings, everything will be uploaded for every week on week basis. uh, and the assignment also will be uploaded. So the assignment I will give you with scenarios what you need to create based on what we discussed that week. Only those scenarios only I'll be giving it to you, which you will practice. You can practice from your home, you can come to Harsha Trainings Institute, there also you can practice. If you want some dedicated environment for you, it's up to you. Okay, but practice is mandatory. All the topics that we are discussing, go through the ppts, go through the recordings, go through the notes, and you practice it. But whatever we learn, everything is important, everything is, you have to learn that.
Will you be available in the Arsha Training Institute or else like
No, I
online
will
only?
not be available, but if you need some support, we can connect from there, but I will not
Okay.
be available. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So you can ask that, you can mention that you are a student, you have already enrolled. They will know you. So you can then go to the lab support and you can do your work. Okay. Yeah, till Saturday. Means from Monday to Saturday you can do that. I don't think Sunday they will be opening. Monday to Saturday you can go anytime and you can practice your work, provided that you have enrolled to the course first of all. Okay, and at the end of the course I will share you the interview questions as well as some sample resumes. Okay, so that you can keep that resume projects in your resume, right? If you have a project, you can keep those projects in that. I'll also provide you some interview questions along with that. Once you get into some real-time project, if you are enrolled, then I will also provide you some 5 hours of support for your application. Okay, for example, you are just getting started with real-time application, everything is new for you, real time. So I will provide you some 5 hours of support. So all these things are included as part of the Pega enrollment. So please
Yeah.
go ahead today and enroll to the course. Okay, enroll to the course, contact Harsha Trainings, make the payment, and from Monday onwards it's going to be enroll sessions, paid sessions only. Okay, it will be paid
That
sessions.
5 hour support is like for development, right? Whatever the task we will be assigned.
Yeah,
So
whatever task you get from the business, I'll
it,
support on that. How to do, where to do all those things.
and one more question we didn't discuss in the initial stage, I think. So like so only we will be having 3 or 4 domains using this decision hub, right? So maybe so how is the openings and all?
I didn't get you.
I mean like only 3 or 4 domains they are using, right? If you see this bigger decisioning.
Yeah, most of the domains are that only which use Pega CDH. Remaining, you have to select other.
No, in
Okay, so
real time
remaining you have to
marketing, I'm
select other.
saying like there are a lot of
Yeah, then
opportunities. Like what?
not a problem. You have to mention the same thing, that data model is not available from Pega. Whatever we have to use that only. Okay, so generally you don't rely everything on Pega only. Like I told, car model is something you have to do in your application. If you have extended requirement, like you don't have some columns, then only you go for XCAR. But within your application also you should have your classes, your tables, columns, everything will be there. On top of that you will add the XCAR. So then you have to check for your domain whether XCAR is available or not. Then you have to go
Sorry,
for that.
my question is like actually like in real time, right? So the openings for this CDH, what I'm saying is like only 3 or 4 industries are using this decisioning, right? So how are the openings and what is the scope?
The openings are there, a lot of openings are there. Nothing like 3 or 4 industries. More than 20-30 companies are hiring for decisioning projects. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are openings are there, but not equal to Pega PRPC openings. If Pega PRPC openings are like 80, this here there are 20 openings are there. Like that it will be there. 80-20 percentage will be there.
But the competition
Okay.
might be less, right, when compared to.
Competition will be less only compared to Pega. Competition will be less. Definitely it is demand only right now. Okay, fine. So this wizard will definitely take more time, maybe around 15-20 minutes more. So once we come up on Monday, this will be ready. But from your side also you can practice it. From your side also you can run the wizard whenever time permits and see what things are getting created, how to run the wizard, all these things you can practice it. So when we come back on Monday, we will ensure that this wizard is completed and we'll log into the new application and
One
we will
last
see
question.
what all things are there. Yeah.
Yeah, one last question. Hello.
You tell me.
Yeah. So we will be doing the certification in this month, for example, but how can we show like we have already completed 3 years back? There will be no problem, right?
No,
Or
not an
else.
issue. You can mention without certification you have worked. That is
Okay.
not an
Okay.
issue. You have done is not that done or not, that is the question. When you have
Okay.
done, generally they will not ask.
Yeah, but CSC and CWC they are asking for the interviews, so
Hmm.
that's the reason I'm asking.
For
Okay.
CPDC, you can mention internally I have switched but did not complete certification. Recently I have done. That is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Shweta. Thanks for it.
Okay.
How to
So
store this data if we
sorry.
do in cloud? How to store this data? Whatever we are doing the setup, right? See, every time if you close this cloud, it will go, right?
Yeah. So this data setup is already done in the cloud. You can use this existing one for practice, or you can create a new wizard. And what happens is, after you run the context dictionary, it will automatically create one product file. You see here, this is already created. ABC Bank context generated rule. Just download this and you import this. That's it. You don't need to wait for all this time again. So just you have to import the product file. You know already, right? Everyone knows already. You have to go to the configure, application, distribution, import. Then you have to upload this file, product rule. So after you do all these things, right, in the at the end of this wizard, it will give you the link to download the product file. So that product file you have to download it. So that file you can import it whenever you are practicing the next day. You can import that product file. Okay, or even you can just go to the sysadmin and go to the product instances. This product will be available for you. You can download that and you can import that next day when you are coming back. Okay. So same thing you do in real-time environment also. This wizard you will do only in dev environment. So in the remaining environment, simply you have to download that product file and you can import it. No need to do 10 times or 5 times in all the environments. Only one time job. Okay, clear? Yeah. Just
Yeah.
see the product name, what is the product name, and you just download it and import it. That's it. Okay, guys. So we'll connect again on Monday with the new application that is ready for us. We will directly go through the new application and see what is present for us to get started with the decisioning implementation. Okay, and happy weekend and see you all on Monday.